I want to bring in Sergio Gonzalez now, Executive Director of Immigration Hub and a former senior advisor to then Senator Kamala Harris. Sergio, thanks for being here. We know this story isn't all about Title 42 lifting. So on a very basic level, why is this happening? We see a lot of politicians pointing fingers, but what are the facts?
Well, thank you and good morning. We do not have a border crisis. We have a forced migration crisis around the world and in the Western Hemisphere. If you look across the Atlantic over to what is happening in Ukraine, over 7 million people have been forced from Ukraine as a result of an authoritarian leader who has decided to invade that country. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we have fascists and autocrats and dictators across the region who are forcing people from their homes, who have destabilized their own countries. And so it's not border policies that are bringing people to our border. It is climate change. It is these autocratic leaders who are inflicting violence on their own people and human rights abuses. In Nicaragua, there is a leader who is jailing priests and political opponents. In Venezuela, we have widespread violence being carried out by the Maduro regime. And so these people are coming to our country seeking safety and freedom, and they're being painted as a threat to America when the opposite is true. They're desperate people in need of help.
And wanting to contribute. I know a lot of them who I've spoken to have the right intentions, certainly. We keep hearing the system is broken. The images we've seen for a while now would seem to back that up. But what does the path to legal status look like for these folks in the current system?
Secretary Mayorkas is right when he says our system, our immigration system has been broken for a long time, for decades. And I just want to remind people that Donald Trump decimated and took a torch to an already broken system. His administration destroyed legal pathways for people to be able to legally come to the U.S. They walled off America. They separated families. They jailed families. We all remember the images of kids who were separated from their families at the border. I just want to remind people in the American public, this is not the way, that we are better than this. There are solutions here. Congress plays a major role in fixing this, in making our asylum system and our immigration system work. This can be done. We can resource the border so that we have the right personnel, the right officers, people to ensure that there is the humanitarian assistance that is needed for the people who are arriving at our border. This does not have to be chaotic. This can be orderly. But this cannot happen without Congress resourcing this. And Republicans, at every opportunity, they have had a chance to pass immigration reform several times over the past decade.
In decades, in fact. It's been decades that they've had that opportunity. But let me just ask you, Sergio, because I think a lot of people look at the situation and they don't like what they see. And so what do you tell someone who may fall into the camp of, my family came here the right way and so should everyone else?
Look, I believe that the American people, they're not anti-immigrant, but they are anti-chaos. People understand that immigration is part of what makes America great. Like, think back to our entire history. It is a history of immigration. We all have families who have come here, right, seeking freedom, seeking opportunity, seeking safety. We have those stories, but people want to know that the system works. And so number one is that we have to expand legal pathways for people to be able to come to this country. Number two is that we have to have a regional approach to address the displacement of people in the Western Hemisphere. This is not a one-country solution. Colombia is hosting and home to 2 million Venezuelans who are displaced from that country. And we need to be just as strong and just as generous, not only because it's the right thing to do. We know that immigrants and immigration makes America stronger. It fuels our economy. It fuels innovation. This is the story of America. There are solutions here. And so I think the people, American people, they want to know that there is order, that there is humanity, there is fairness in their immigration system.
Sergio Gonzalez, thank you so much.